Yeah, hi there. These comments are for the doctor. And I just listened to your diagnostic pretest. At least I listened to part A of the pretest. And what I'm going to do now is to give you some comments. And you have a non-native speaker accent, no doubt, right? But you speak clearly most of the time. So here are the lessons you want to focus on the most. You might want to get a pencil. Lesson number 7, 10, 14. In lesson 15, focus on the glottal stop. Lesson number 19 and lesson 24. Those are the specific areas I think you need to improve in terms of your vowel and consonant sounds of American English. Now, having said that, I recommend that you go through all of my pronunciation lessons, but focus more on the ones I just outlined in this video. Okay, let's keep going to learn more about you.
Explain or practice your answers. Speak as naturally as you can.
So you're going to tell me a little bit about yourself.
What is your educational background and your work history?
Okay.
Well, I am a medical doctor. I have completed my neurology degree and I am working as a consultant neurologist in a tertiary care hospital.
Okay.
So I have completed my basic MBBS degree. Then I went on and did my MD in internal medicine.
Now wait a minute, I have completed and then I went on. No, you want to use past tense there. I completed my BBS degree and then I went on. I would use a simple past there, not the present perfect. So remember, the present perfect talks about an action that begins in the past but continues up until the moment of speaking. If I said I graduated, 5 years ago, I'm not going to say I have graduated 5 years ago. You see what I'm saying?
Following that, I have done a 3-year super specialty course in neurology.
Okay.
Following that, I started my career as a consultant neurologist.
Right, you want to say not career, but career, my career.
And I am working in the present hospital for the past 4 months.
Okay.
Question number 2.
And let's go back to what you just said here. I got to check your grammar.
Explain or practice your answers. Speak in neurology. Following that, I started my career as a consultant neurologist. And I am working in the present hospital for the past 4 months.
And I have been working in a hospital for the past 4 months. I think present, perfect, progressive is going to work better there. So clearly, you got a lot of language use issues that are going on here. You're having problems with your verb tenses. What do? Study verb tenses. This is going to be important for you. So what I would do is, my website doesn't cover verb tenses in a lot of detail, but you can go to the grammar part of my course and you can type in the keywords, or you can go to the grammar part of my course, look for the lesson that says verb tenses, and you can see some of the frequently occurring errors that you might be making, but that's not enough. What you want to do now is to go to Google. Type in the words, the English verb tenses, or verb tenses in the English language, and you should review those. Right now, what I can tell you now, you're having trouble with, you're confusing the present perfect and the simple past. You're also confusing the simple present along with the present perfect progressive. So you're having some trouble with how to use those tenses. Now, the reason I'm telling you that, remember that you're paying me to not just help you with your pronunciation. I have to deal with all areas of your language. It could be vocabulary problems, could be grammar problems, could be pronunciation problems. Whatever the problems are, you're paying me to help diagnose those things and to give you some ideas on how you can correct those problems. You're a doctor, you know how it works, right? You see what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm trying to do when I'm helping you. Okay, let's keep going.
Question number 2. Why is it...
Now, when you say question number 2, ooh, you want to make that vowel longer, 2.
It's important for you to improve your speaking and pronunciation abilities of American English. Well, I have been applying for fellowships abroad to various countries,
okay,
like UK, Canada, and of course USA.
All right.
And currently I have been accepted for a fellowship.
You want to say currently. So the R sound, when it's in the middle of the word, like career, you say career or currently, but it's more career currently, so you're having some trouble with the R consonant sound. You have the tendency to pronounce it a little bit too hard in English.
In Canada, for which I am supposed to show my English proficiency either by completing IELTS or by TOEFL, and I am required to produce a score of 24 in all domains in case if I am taking TOEFL. Question 3.
Well, that's not bad. I thought you were going to tell me 26. So you need to get 24 in the 4 subtotals. I think that's possible.
What do you hope to achieve in this course? Well, I have made many attempts in IELTS. That is, I have made 2 attempts in IELTS and I am losing each time by a 0.5 band score. First time when I took IELTS, I lost in writing. I got a 6.5 band score instead of 7. Okay. Then subsequently when I took IELTS academic next time,
you want to say academic. That's a word stressor, not academic, but academic. So you want to make sure when you're pronouncing words, you put the stress in the right area.
I managed to get a band of 7 in writing, but this time I got a score of 6.5 in speaking. Okay. So I thought I will just try my luck in TOEFL, and now I am finding TOEFL is much more difficult than IELTS academic.
But here, why don't you forget the TOEFL and the IELTS exams? Right? Let's just forget those right now. Let's help you learn English. You see what I'm saying? You still have some basic English proficiency things you got to figure out. You remember I talked about verb tenses? You got to solve these issues. It doesn't matter to me whether you want to take the TOEFL or the IELTS exam. My job is to help you speak more proficiently, to help you write more proficiently, to help you read better, all of those different things, right? Now, here's a question for you. I mean, the only person that's going to solve these issues is you. I'm looking at you right now. Now, what do? You want to increase your exposure to English right now. This is going to really help you, I think, improve your IELTS or your TOEFL or your English. You need to speak a lot of English right now. Read a lot of English, read newspapers and magazines and books, watch a lot of TV, paying attention to news programs, history programs, documentary programs, even science programs. I think all of this type of exposure in your brain is going to help you master the grammar better. You'll be able to speak more clearly. You'll be able to have better control of your language as you're writing and speaking. So don't forget that. Remember that your journey here is not just taking an online TOEFL course, but your journey involves using the language a lot. You're not using English enough. You need to use more English, and that's going to help reduce a lot of your non-native speaker accent. You see what we're saying? Does that make sense? Now, what I want to do now, as I always do, I want to give you what's called an intelligibility score, and I'll include a link in this discussion thread to this so you can kind of see it for yourself. So, on a scale of 1 to 7, you have 1 is a high beginner speaker of English, and 7 is a near native speaker of English. And the question is, where are you in this range? Okay, I'm going to put you in the 4 area. I'm going to put you at about 4.1 out of 7, high intermediate in your speaking and pronunciation of American English. As I pointed out, you haven't mastered the verb tenses of the English language. That's going to be a problem because every single sentence that you say involves using verbs. So that's one priority that you got to focus on right now. Now, I also gave you some pronunciation lessons that you have to focus on. As you go through the pronunciation section of my course, I recommend that you even read out loud with me as I teach you the information in those lessons, and that's called tracking. And that can help you. Remember, I pointed out use academic instead of academic. You have a lot of word stress issues. You have problems with your intonation. You have problems with vowel and consonant sounds and all of those things. So as you practice reading with me, as you go through those videos, it can help you do better with your pronunciation overall. See what we're saying? So be patient. Now think about it this way. Do you believe that you can get better? It's all about you. I think you can, but you have to believe in your own heart that you can improve, and you have to want to improve. As long as you're motivated and you want to do it, you will be able to do it. All right? Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you for joining my online TOEFL course. I have taught many doctors over the last few years. I'm happy to teach you now. I'm honored, doctor, to be able to work with you. And remember that I am only an email away. If you ever have questions or need any advice at all, you get frustrated, whatever, send me an email. My job is to help you. What do you do tomorrow? You need to start posting independent and integrated speaking practice tests. Even though I've given you information today, I need more information on your speaking. So you should start posting on a daily basis speaking practice test. As you do that, keep a journal. In the journal, divide the journal into 3 sections: pronunciation, language use, and topic development. And I will give you comments in those 3 areas, and you should start writing down some of the information. So today, you will have already written down, or you should have written down in your journal, about past tense or verb tenses, and particularly the present perfect versus the simple past. You should write that down. And then using the simple present versus the present perfect progressive. Remember, I am working for instead of I have been working for a company for the last few months. So you have to start writing this information down and get used to the errors you're making, and then what are the correct version of those errors. So then you get more used to how to speak correctly, how to write correctly, and all those areas. All right, sorry for such a long video, but I wanted to introduce myself to you a little bit. I am a professor at California State University, San Bernardino. I am at the school right now as I talk to you. So I'm glad to have you as a student. Work hard. I promise you, doctor, that you can get better. You will get better. My job is to not just help you get a high score in the TOEFL exam. My job is to give you good English forever, for life. That's what I will help you do.